Small talk. Small talk is really important because it helps us to understand little things about the people we work with that have nothing to do with work, but help us to get the work done. Hello, everyone. I'm Jennifer Kumar from Authentic Journeys, and I'm going to be creating a series on small talk do's and don'ts. I am the managing director of Authentic Journeys based in Kochi, India, and often many companies and teams that work with Americans approach me to help them build their relationships with American counterparts. There's a lot of mystery around small talk. What are the kinds of small talk? What are the questions we should use? What are the questions that we should avoid? That's all the different things we're going to be discussing in this series. I'm going to be starting off this series with mentioning some common small talk questions that are said in India, in Indian English, and that I'm going to mention if that's an acceptable question or avoidable question, and then I'm going to say it in American English, if there's a different way to say it in American English. For instance, there's Indian English and American English. Sometimes it's the same, and sometimes it's like a totally different language. For instance, in India, people will often say, "I will revert to you shortly." But in the U.S., we don't use the word revert. We would say respond, or based on the situation, "I will get back to you." "I will call you back" if it's a phone call. "I will email you again soon" if it's an email. "I'll talk to you when we meet next time." "See you in the next meeting." Different ways we can actually find simple synonyms to replace those Indian English words, just to make the communication a little easier. Now, obviously, it would be great if the Americans learned a little bit about the Indian culture through this series and understood a little bit more about the common questions that are used in small talk in India, as well as some of the avoidable questions. Of course, right off the bat, or the first thing that many people in the Indian teams tell me is that there's a lot more free-for-all or a lot more acceptable topics in Indian business small talk than in the U.S. And I would tend to agree based on my 5 years experience working in India as an American expat. So I'm gonna end this introduction here, and I'm gonna turn it over to my